Something sort of deep inside gave me that desire to be a dad.
Absolutely have known my whole life that I want to be a dad. Steph and I, when we got married, were really excited to have kids.
It was just pure joy. I remember when I actually saw her head for the first time, I just started bawling.
Her fingers wrapped around my finger, and I was done. Instant melt.
When Gabby was born, the love, the hopes, the dreams we have for her.
I remember the first time driving her home from the hospital, so nervous that they had just let us out of the hospital with this baby. I knew that everything that I was gonna do was gonna be for her.
We brought Lucy to the hospital to meet her younger sister, and she's holding her there, and I remember taking that photo and putting it on Facebook, and just something to the effect of like, welcome to the world, little sister.
I always felt like my main goal was to protect my kids. One of the hardest things about Rett syndrome is that I just can't protect her from that.
Hannah had turned 3, and we started to notice changes in vocabulary, sentences that were shorter, less words.
Eating started to become a little bit more of a challenge for her, and grabbing things was not kind of progressing.
She had been slow to kind of sit up and crawl.
Her hands started ringing, her body started rocking.
And I'll never forget this. Hannah was standing there. She looked at me with these eyes of absolute terror, is the only way I can describe it. It sort of burned into my mind, and then she collapsed. Something was going on in her body. She knew it, and it scared the hell out of her.
And the PT, kind of in an offhand thought, suggested we see a pediatric neurologist, and we went and had this appointment, and they thought everything was fine. That kids develop in their own time, but she suggested we do this genetic testing just to rule some stuff out.
She told us, your daughter has Rett syndrome. Don't Google it.
She couldn't do things that she could do the day before, and she didn't know why, and it was really frustrating for her.
You're reading about the symptoms that girls with Rett syndrome go through.
There's gastrointestinal issues, there's breathing disorders, hyperventilating, holding breath, symptoms of epilepsy, high rates of seizures.
We were numb for days, and we're talking to doctors and our beautiful daughter, knowing that this train was coming down the tracks of regression was scary.
It's hell because it's taken away one of my children.
Every couple of weeks, she'll have a day where she just has seizures nonstop. Maybe 10 seizures a day.
She's never been able to walk. She had a few words until she regressed and can no longer speak. She can no longer use her hands.
Our house now is basically like an emergency room.
One of the first things I remember reading was about something called long QT syndrome, which is a cardiac event with girls with Rett syndrome. And it just sort of hit me in a flash of thinking, every night when I go in to give her a kiss, I'm going to have to check on her during the night because God forbid she has a heart attack and dies in her sleep. And still to this day, every morning when she wakes up, I'm happy. So I don't know why that stood out to me at the time, but it did, with all the other things that are so awful about this disease. But reading about parents who found their children deceased in the morning from what should be just a regular night's sleep. It hit me then, it hits me now.
I don't want her to feel this pain. Like, I don't want her to go through this.
Your expectation of what your child's life is going to be like changes very dramatically.
Every single morning, I wake up to the sound of her struggling to breathe and gasping for air. That's my alarm clock in the morning.
Gabby is a 31-year-old, beautiful young lady that's trapped in her body. The frustration and the anxiety, she sees her brother and her sister nowadays with their respective husbands, wives, and even children, and she cannot be that.
She had more skills when she was 18 months old than she does at 10. And that's heartbreaking.
One of the last videos I have of her talking is actually her saying, "Bye, Daddy." I just need to hear her voice again. Rett Syndrome Research Trust has been doing this for 17 years, has raised almost $100 million to find a cure for my daughter and other kids around the world with Rett syndrome.
We started the first fundraiser, and our whole mission was, we're going to fix this. We're getting closer and closer with 2 companies doing gene therapy trials. That keeps us going.
We'll do whatever's necessary to find a cure for her.
My daughter, who is capable of so many things, is capable of more.
This child needs to push herself every day to do what she does, and do it in a very courageous way.
To have her in real time be able to talk and tell me where it hurts, what's happening, what's funny, that would be incredible. I dream about that all the time.
I feel actually really lucky to be Sadie's dad. I hope and I look forward to the day when we're on the other side of this and she's cured and she's able to live a more full life. But I couldn't love her any more than I do. And I couldn't be any more proud of her.
Considering this theme of this video is dads, one thing that really resonates with me is that my father, he passed away 2 weeks ago. And he was an incredible supporter of this organization. And he's not going to get to see Maggie be cured. But I will.